YouTuber Fish on Fishel returned to his favorite fishing spot, this time with his kids. Everything felt normal, peaceful, but while editing the footage later, they noticed something unsettling. In the trees, a shadowy figure can be seen, standing perfectly still. The YouTuber mentioned they hadn't seen it at the time, and said it would have been hard to miss. They were stunned. Some viewers say it's just pareidolia, a trick of light and shadows. Others believe it could be something more sinister. The truth, they never found out. Two men were wrapping up after a long night of fishing. As they stepped into the car, this happened. A loud, screeching noise echoed through the dark, but it didn't come from one direction. It surrounded them. A chill crept up their spines. Who, or what, was out there with them that night? Thankfully, whatever was making that sound never showed itself, and remained hidden in the forest's shadows. While deep-sea fishing far out in the ocean, a group of men found themselves in a terrifying moment. A blue Marlin suddenly lunged onto the boat. For a second, it looked like something terrible was about to happen, but by sheer luck, the man escaped unharmed. A man was releasing a bass fish back into the swamp. It looked routine, nothing unusual. But as the fish hit the water, it suddenly turned aggressive.
Biggest bass this season. Going back in the fucking water. Swim off, you beautiful, beautiful Ah!
It missed by inches, but its intent was clear. It nearly took a finger. When he watched the video back, he realized just how close it was, and that his reflexes had saved him. One evening in late October 2018, Dave Noonan was walking the estate paths near Dolegau Bridge. It was around 6:15 p.m., dusk settling in, when he noticed a woman standing in the River Uyswyth. At first, he thought she might be in trouble, but the longer he stared, the more unsettling it became. She wasn't moving, just standing there. Still, silent, almost unreal. Dave reached for his phone and snapped a quick photo, and in that instant, she vanished, dissolving into the water like she'd never been there at all. Dave was left shaken, unsure of what he had just witnessed. Some believe he captured the spirit of a woman who drowned in those waters long ago. Others aren't so sure, accusing him of faking the photo for attention. So the question remains, was Dave telling the truth, or did he create a ghost story for the internet? While out near a waterfall, this man noticed something strange. As he filmed the rushing water, a pale shape seemed to rise from the bushes, almost like it was watching him. Unfortunately, not much is known about the footage. No confirmed location, no clear backstory. So the question remains, was it just a prank, or did he accidentally capture something truly unsettling lurking near that remote waterfall? While wing foiling close to the shore, a man was unexpectedly hit by a whale and knocked unconscious. It all happened so fast that he didn't even realize what had happened. Barely escaping, he surfaced, shaken and gasping. The man felt blessed. It seemed like he'd gotten in the whale's way, not the other way around. During a fun fishing trip with friends, they snapped a few photos to remember the day. But while looking at the pictures, they noticed something chilling, something they hadn't seen at the time. In the background, near a tree, stood what looked like a white, ghostly figure. No one remembered seeing anything unusual while fishing. No flashes of white, no movement in the trees. So was it just a trick of the eye, a case of pareidolia, or did they unknowingly capture something truly paranormal? Still, if it were just pareidolia, wouldn't they have noticed something that bright in the forest? A diver was out in the icy waters when this happened.
Straight at you.
He's going straight at you, Joe.
The polar bear moved with purpose, as if it were planning an attack. But right before things could turn deadly, something made it change its mind. Probably the boat hovering nearby. It was a close call. A person was feeding fish at a dirty swamp in Japan. The water was cloudy, full of floating garbage. While filming the fish, something terrifying happened. Right in the middle of them, a human hand rose from the water. Not much context came with the video. Did they check the waters? Did they find anything? No one knows. It makes you wonder if it was real or just a hoax. A man was fishing with his friend in a kayak when this happened. Lightning struck dangerously close, nearly hitting them. It was a terrifyingly close call. Shaken, they made their way back to shore, hoping lightning wouldn't strike again. Luckily, it didn't. In the summer of 2017 or 2018, a Reddit user went to Montauk with friends. He woke up around 3:30 a.m. and walked alone to the beach. While sitting near the staircase, he noticed glowing eyes watching him from the bushes. Then, something stomped nearby before vanishing. As dawn neared, he walked along the beach and saw a tall, black, motionless figure far out in the water. Too far to stand unless on an invisible sandbar. It didn't move with the waves, didn't reflect light, and eventually disappeared without a trace. He managed to take a picture, but he never figured out what it was. While fishing near the coast, this person witnessed something terrifying unfold. Someone had jumped into the sea, but the currents were too strong. He couldn't get out. Realizing he was in trouble, others jumped in to help. But one by one, they too became trapped by the relentless pull of the water. For what felt like forever, none of them could escape, and the situation kept getting worse. Thankfully, it was later confirmed that everyone made it out safely. But it was a near disaster. This fisherman spent his whole life on the ocean, fishing off the Pacific Northwest. One day he spotted what looked like a dead log floating nearby. Nothing new until it moved. Curious, he grabbed his camera. Zooming in, he saw something bizarre. It seemed to have eyes and a mouth, yet it didn't move like a fish. He's seen it all out there, but this thing, he couldn't name it, and neither could anyone else. This short, mysterious clip, supposedly shot in Russia, was posted on Reddit, asking if anyone could identify it. Viewers were quick to point out the lush greenery looked more like tropical flora, especially water hyacinth, making a Russian origin doubtful. The creature's odd movement puzzled many, but most agreed it was likely a river dolphin, specifically a boto from the Amazon, possibly injured or disabled. Others guessed a manatee or a large catfish with scoliosis. Whatever it was, it definitely wasn't Russian. Two fishermen headed out into the Gulf of Mexico for what seemed like an ordinary day on the water. Within 20 minutes, calm skies gave way to a massive storm system rolling in fast.
Okay, Troy. Hey, we're here. Holy crap, man. This is one of the worst things I've ever been in a boat. We're looking around. That's the only daylight there is left. We are heading into some dangerous weather. We are out in some serious situation in the Gulf of Mexico.
Trapped with no option to retreat, they had to push forward into the chaos. Lightning occasionally lit their path, revealing nothing but a wall of grey. For over an hour, they battled towering swells and crushing winds, but eventually they broke through. Shaky but safe, they finally stood upright, storm behind them. Reddit user Blue Gum Gum came across a bizarre sea creature washed up on the shore in South Carolina. It didn't match any known sea animal, and despite trying to identify it, the user couldn't figure out what it was. It was slimy, oddly shaped, and had features that made it hard to tell whether it was a fish, a sea slug, or something else entirely. The sight left them unsettled. These men were fishing late at night when they spotted something strange moving through the water.
Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at that long one. It just disintegrates. They just disintegrate. Look, there's another long one right there. They disintegrate. Oh, look at this long one. What is that? They're everywhere. Hold on. Watch this. Look at that guy. You see that guy? What are these?
Long, worm-like creatures. The strange part? It vanished into a cloud of muddy water the moment they touched it. What could this have been? A boater recently spotted something strange floating in a lake. It was partially above water, but most of it stayed submerged. From the video, it appeared stiff and completely still, with an unusual shape that didn't resemble any known animal. Some believe it's just waterlogged debris, maybe a piece of equipment or a broken part of a boat, but others suspect it could be something unknown, possibly even a lake creature. This woman was fishing near the Grand River in Ionia, Michigan, just 100 meters from a forgotten Potter's Field cemetery, hidden deep in the Iona recreation area. The site once bordered state prisons and an old mental hospital, a place heavy with history. While fishing, she didn't see anything unusual, but she felt something, a strange, unshakable presence. Compelled by the feeling, she began snapping photos. And in one of them, she saw this. A figure, just the top of a head, eyes staring, and what looked like fingers. It appeared high up in the trees, watching. Maybe it's just pareidolia, or maybe she captured something real. This fisherman recently pulled a bizarre creature from the sea. A soft pink rubbery looking organism. No limbs, no eyes, just wriggling slowly like a giant maggot. Some think it could be a type of sea cucumber given its soft, limbless body. Others believe it might be an entirely unknown species. What do you think this creature could be? Friends were fishing at Lake Colico in Chile when they spotted something they couldn't explain.
Oh, hermano, un ovni, culeo, la mía volada, weón. Media volada, culeo. Oh. Oh. Ya media volada, weón. Hermano, está violita, weón.
A strange oval shape just hanging above the water, completely silent. They posted it online, asking for help identifying it, but no one could figure out what it was. It didn't behave like a drone or anything familiar. Some wondered if it was actually something drifting through the water at a high speed, yet looking like a flying object, almost like an optical illusion. Sadly, there was no clear explanation for it. This video was posted on Reddit with the question, is she in shock or really this chill? A shark passed underneath her. You'd think she'd scream or swim away, but she didn't flinch. The shark almost looked more surprised than she did. Maybe that's what kept her safe. A couple went fishing on a small boat when they ran into serious trouble.
Came out of nowhere. Go, 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 go. Baby, get the boat.
The waves weren't huge by surfer standards, but they were enough to swamp a low boat. It took on a lot of water and looked close to capsizing, but instead of turning around or panicking, the captain powered through, heading back to shore. A risky move, but a smart one, because luckily, no one was hurt. As a fisherman was going through his catch of the day, he came across a strange creature in his net. It seemed to be made entirely of tentacles. The sight was both fascinating and unsettling. He posted it online, sparking many people to wonder if this was an undiscovered species. This Reddit user was out on the water one day, just trying to snap a simple photo of a boat passing by. Nothing out of the ordinary, or so he thought. But when he looked back at the photo, something was off. A shadowy figure had appeared in the frame. It wasn't there when he took the shot. Even stranger, the images taken just before and after show nothing. Now he's left wondering, who or what did he capture by accident? Early one morning in Mesa, Arizona, a fisher spotted something strange in the sky. He quickly grabbed his phone to zoom in and capture the mysterious shape. He said it looked like a seahorse. Nobody really knew what it was, but it sure caught attention. Was it a balloon or something more mysterious? A man on Reddit named JakeyBoy1854 heard a weird whining noise coming from across the lake near his place in Arkansas.
Skunk ape. Skunk ape. What? That's the weirdest thing. What?
Since there are lots of deer around, he thought maybe it was one of them. But the sound was strange. Some people in the comments said it sounded like a whale or a seal, which made no sense for a lake. Maybe it was just the wind, but if that were the case, you'd think he would have figured that out himself. This man was out fishing and hunting for treasure on the beach near Nevis Volcano when things turned deadly.
I think I'm coming up on the beach. Looks like there's a lot of goats or sheep over there. Oh, really slippery. These rocks are covered in algae, and there's just sharp stuff everywhere. It's really dangerous going to landfills. But sometimes they're gold mines.
Suddenly, a cloud of fire and scorching ash erupted around him. Trapped in the blazing heat, he had to scramble to get out fast before the flames caught him. It was a close call, proof of how risky it can be chasing treasures near an active volcano. A man was fishing in a small river in the woods at night when he recorded this video. Take a look. Now, I feel like I've heard this audio before in other clips, but I'm not quite sure. Do you recognize the sound? Either way, if this was real, it had to be a terrifying experience. I know I wouldn't have stayed there to keep recording. In April 2025, Florida charter boat captain Brock Horner was caught on video aggressively boarding 22-year-old fisherman Gage Tolles' boat in Punta Gorda.
You want one of these, Brick? Run in my mouth? You ran out to me. That's what we call you, bro. Everybody here's got a nickname. All right, bro. Keep pretending to be a fishing guide.
Hurling profanities and threatening violence over a petty boating dispute. The footage quickly went viral, leading to Horner's arrest on charges of felony burglary with assault. But this wasn't the first time something like this had happened. Let's just hope no one else crosses him on the water. Though somehow it feels like this won't be the last time. A fisher shared a video online asking what creature was seen in it. At first glance, it looked like a plastic bag or some rubbery object, but some said it was a vampire squid, Vampyroteuthis infernalis, which means vampire squid from hell. It's a deep-sea cephalopod with webbed arms, glowing eyes, and dark skin, usually found from 2,000 to 3,000 feet deep. So what was it doing on the surface of the water? A few weeks back, a fisher visited a lake that used to be an old pit. They took some photos, but didn't notice anything unusual at the time. Later, while going through the pictures, they spotted a strange figure in one of them. Curious, they tried to recreate the shot to see if it was just a trick of the light or something else, but couldn't explain it. Was it simply a reflection, or something truly mysterious? This is Sauce, better known as the Mermaid Man. He's a commercial fisherman who claims to have encountered real mermaids while out at sea. Recently, he uploaded another bizarre live-streamed clip where he tosses a giant crab overboard. Moments later, that same crab flies back onto his boat, like something or someone threw it.
Right back. Let's see if we can find.
Oh! Yo! Oh, hell no! Wait, no! No fucking way! Wait, I just threw this overboard. Y'all saw me throw it overboard. Are you fucking kidding me? That did not just...
It wasn't the wind, and it didn't seem like a trick. Viewers were stunned. If you haven't seen his other clips where he supposedly captured mermaids, look him up. Captain Bob Hartzell, a YouTuber, was exploring the sea caves of Devil's Island, Wisconsin, during his fishing trip when an eerie feeling crept over him. He started recording, and that's when he saw this. In the distance, a faint human-like figure stood directly ahead. It could have been just a small cave opening, but with the island's dark reputation for wandering spirits and cave monsters, the sight sent a shiver down his spine. Though Bob wasn't certain what he had seen, he couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was undeniably there. A group of fishermen set out in the Florida Keys expecting a routine catch, but what they hooked left them stunned.
Hopefully I got it.
The struggle was intense as the shark thrashed violently, eventually breaking free and vanishing into the depths. A boat was cruising along a river in Putumayo, Colombia, when something massive appeared in the water. The shape moved quickly through the murky river, too fast and deliberate to be just a drifting log.
It's huge. You getting it on the... Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow, dude. Follow.
The person filming tried to capture it, but the water was too cloudy to see clearly. Still, the dark figure surged forward again and again. Some who watch the video think it's a giant alligator or an anaconda. Others compare it to the Loch Ness Monster. Whatever it wasn't floating. It was alive, and it moved like it knew it was being watched. A man went swimming in the Amazon River. Not the best idea, because soon he spotted a big snake nearby. They say never swim in the Amazon River, and for good reason. The real danger lies beneath. Giant anacondas, venomous water spiders, bloodthirsty leeches, and bizarre creatures no one's even named yet. The man in the video is Paul Rossley, a conservationist who lives deep in the Amazon. He's got jungle survival in his blood. But for anyone else, don't do it. YouTuber and TikToker RCL Beauty 101 shared a bizarre underwater clip while snorkeling. She came across a school of fish completely still, suspended in place as if frozen in time. The eerie scene left viewers puzzled. Was it a shift in water conditions, the presence of an unseen predator, or something else? And for more scary fishing encounters, watch this next one.